Hey everyone! Welcome to Home Energy Design, how to design a beautiful home and life and make sure it's energy aligned. I'm your host, Amanda Gates, and I'm an interior designer and Feng Shui practitioner. And these combined skills have made me a floor plan reading expert. Energy design is like astrology for your home and your life. And who doesn't want more of that? I believe in all things pretty. In fact, my team and I love the pretty. But what makes my firm different is that we can help you create designs that are also energy aligned to help you get the home and life you've always dreamed of. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey everyone. Welcome to Home Energy Design. I'm your host, Amanda Gates, and today we are talking about Feng Shui and root canals. Dun dun dun. Can Feng Shui cure a root canal? Well, it's quite possible. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. I did a very powerful Feng Shui meditation, and it's called the Moving Heart Method. And I've done this meditation for many years, but in this particular instance, well, actually, both times that I've done this, it has really changed my life. But I really wanted to share my experience with you because I've really learned a lot over the last 3 weeks. And I have to say that my experience was kind of one of those moments in your life where you realize you have the power to change your circumstances, and you have the opportunity, you have the power to completely heal your body. I always love to share the power that Feng Shui has to really change our lives for several reasons. Number one, many people have absolutely no idea what real Feng Shui is. A lot of people, when they hear that word, they just assume that it means you're going to push your couch around, right? They think that, in fact, I have a client that I've been working with, and he texted me last night, and he's like, so I put these candles here and this Elvis album here, and I was like, XYZ, I won't say his name, you're pushing papers around. What I gave you will move mountains. So stop focusing on the little stuff that doesn't matter. So a lot of people hear the word Feng Shui, and because it's been so marginalized to the point of not even being effective because of all the books and information that's out there, a lot of people don't take it seriously. And Feng Shui is about Chi, or energy, and how to work with that energy within yourself and your environment to literally change your reality. Number two, Feng Shui is very powerful. But what is more powerful is you, and pretty much few people realize the power that they have to completely turn around their circumstances, to change their circumstances. And let me tell you, what most people don't realize about dental care, including your dentist, I should add, is that their methods and what you know about it are severely outdated, which is what we're going to talk about today. However, real quick before we dive into today's show, I wanted to remind you about my workshop that I have up right now with astrologer Sharita Starr. It's still online. You can just go to the website. The button is at the top of the page. It's called How to Navigate Fall 2020 with Grace. And we still have a couple weeks left here before we go into that first major retrograde. So you still have some time to prepare and set up for that. And I would highly recommend, if you've got a lot of uncertainty in your life, today's show and that workshop are two things I would highly recommend. Again, it's at the top of the website. And also, Mastering Feng Shui is still on sale. If you want to learn this level of Feng Shui, this 2-month course shows you the techniques to understand what Feng Shui is and how to read a floor plan to really understand the importance of Chi, which I talk about on the show all the time. Alrighty, so today I want to talk about Chi and why I go on and on about it, right? I'm constantly talking about cultivating your Chi. And I should say, if you missed last week's show, I highly recommend that you go back and listen to it. I had Chi expert Ming Gu on the show, and I was thrilled to have him on just to talk about the power of Chi cultivation, and why we should all be doing it. I felt like I had like some backup, like I'm just the weirdo on this podcast going on and on about it and talking about all this. And, it was just really great to have another person just get really excited about the power and the potential of getting your chi right. So I know that I sound like a broken record, right? Like I'm constantly talking about chi cultivation. So today I am going to share with you a powerful story that I personally experienced and how it changed my life. And it was all because of chi. So 3 weeks ago, I went and had just a routine teeth cleaning. Now, I've been with my dentist for 15 years, and I trusted him. Mainly because I've been with him for 15 years, and he's not super old. He's about maybe 45 years old. So he's been doing it for 15 or 20 years, I think. He might have already been practicing like 5 years when I had started working with him, but I really trusted him. Like I know his family, I know his wife, I know his children. I was there when he had his children. Like I really trusted this guy. So I go in for this routine teeth cleaning, and I was experiencing a slight pain in one of my back molars. And it's a pain that I've had for numerous years, and we could never quite figure out what it was. And he told me that it had developed a crack in it, and we'd have to do a root canal immediately. So according to him, the root was quickly dying, and if I didn't fix this tooth very soon via a root canal, I'd be in a lot of pain and the tooth would continue to die. And he was showing me on the x-ray, I don't know, like this dark shit that I guess indicated that the root was dying. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. He was barking up the wrong tree. Basically, my options were, according to him, root canal or pull the tooth. No and hell no. So some of you may already know this and some of you may not, but root canals are extremely dangerous and they're very, very toxic for your health. Essentially what they do is they pull the root out of your gums, drill into the tooth, and basically leave a dead tooth in your body, and they cap it. So in the eyes of a traditional dentist, this is how pretty much they were all trained to handle tooth care. And it's, according to them, perfectly safe and good because you get to keep your tooth. In what other scenario would you leave a dead appendage of sorts on your personal body and consider it good to go? You wouldn't. So I've actually been hearing and I've been educated on root canals for many years. I started really hearing about this concept of toxicity with them probably about 5 years ago. I'd kind of heard of root canals, didn't really know what they were. And to be quite honest, like, I take care of my teeth. I get them cleaned. I'm very thankful that I had braces as a kid, even though I hated them when I had them. But I do take care of my teeth, or so I thought. But it wasn't until I was threatened with this idea of a root canal that I realized, oh my God, I need to be doing more. Because when my doctor threatened me with this idea of a root canal, I thought, oh my God, why wasn't I doing more to protect this tooth? Why wasn't I doing more to protect my teeth in general? Like, I don't want a root canal. And the thing is that root canals have a lot of side effects. When I started learning about them several years ago, the reason that I got into it is because I had a friend that was experiencing chronic fatigue syndrome. And she was fatigued all the time. And basically, the doctors were telling her she was crazy. Like there was nothing wrong with her. Everything was fine. And she was a health nut. She ate really well. She did yoga. But, there were some days that she couldn't even get out of bed because the chronic fatigue would just overwhelm her. And it was through a holistic, I think she was working through a shaman of all people. He had said to her that he could see dark energy around this particular tooth. And she said, oh yeah, I had a root canal, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you need to get that tooth pulled. It's toxic. It's why you're having all these side effects. And of course, at first she's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm not going to pull this tooth. Well, it took some convincing, but 2 years later, she had the tooth pulled and all of her symptoms went away. So 90% of all teeth that have had a root canal are infected. Most of them are completely contaminated and they have a lot of bacteria in them because when they're done, your teeth are completely exposed and there's tons of bacteria and they, pack them up and cap them, and all that shit is basically insulated inside of this tooth. And there's no real good way. There are some options now with ozone therapy and things like that can make it a more better environment, I guess you can say, but there's still no proof that a root canal is safe. But the reason people don't know this is because the actual tooth never ever shows symptoms. The symptoms show up on your meridians. So if you have had a root canal, you want to look to Chinese medicine to see where the meridian falls in your body. And then you'll be able to access if you are having issues. Most people do. Common side effects are chronic fatigue syndrome, joint pain, digestive issues, and the big one that a lot of people experience is heart disease and high or low blood pressure. It's usually some sort of heart disease though. Most people have a lot of chronic things that show up and they can't explain why. They've always been healthy, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And they never link this side effect to the tooth because the tooth itself feels fine. Even root canals that have been pulled that are completely abscessed, which many of them are that are abscessed do not have any pain or show up on just a normal x-ray. You have to do a CT scan. So the thing is that most people have all these chronic things going on that won't go away. They have no idea what's going on. They don't, link it to the tooth. But as soon as the tooth gets pulled, all symptoms go away. My girlfriend ended up ultimately having her tooth pulled, and within 2 weeks, that's it, 2 weeks, all of her symptoms, chronic fatigue, went away. She had joint pain, chronic fatigue, everything went away. 2 weeks. That's pretty mind-blowing. So after her experience, I started doing a lot more research on this thing called a root canal. Again, it was never on my radar. For some stupid reason, I thought in my mind it was something that old people did. Like, your teeth are bad, so you do a root canal. But what I started to find was that this was like traditional dentistry. If you have even the slightest thing wrong with the tooth, their number one answer, root canal. That's their go-to, root canal. Like, let's not try to save the tooth. Let's see what our option, root canal. That's the answer to everything. So, some of you may have already heard this. Some of you may not. If you do have a root canal, don't panic. The thing is that you have to pay attention. First and foremost, check out the meridian. All you got to do is Google it. If you don't know what the tooth number is, Google that. Figure out which molar you have a root canal in. Then once you find out that information, Google Chinese medicine and figure out which meridian that tooth is on. And if you're experiencing any of those symptoms that are on that meridian, Houston, you have a problem. Now, if you've had, a root canal again, don't panic. I'm going to have, I've already set this up. We're still trying to get it on the schedule, but I've got Dr. Ellie Campbell and hygienist Kristen Reisner coming on the show. I'm hoping to get them on in about 2 weeks. We're having a little bit of a scheduling conflict because I'm in Nashville. Kristen is in Seattle and Dr. Ellie is in New York. So we've got a lot of different time zones going on there, but I am going to get them on the show. We're going to talk about the importance of mouth care and why all of this matters. And we're also going to talk about root canals and what you can do if you already have them. So don't fret and don't panic. Like, my mother has 4 of them, and I'm really concerned about her because she had all 4 of them done in the 90s. So, according to her, she's not having any side effects, but I swear that woman's like a tank. So even if she did, she probably wouldn't, say anything. But back to my situation, having done all this research and having the experience with my girlfriend, I was very familiar with the toxicity of this term root canal. And I was adamant that I was not going to be doing this. Adamant. It was actually quite funny because my dentist knows me very well, and he calls me a hippie. And I could see him bracing himself. He was sitting on his little roller chair, and as he started to say the words, he started to roll back a little bit, bracing for impact. Oh Lord, here comes Amanda. She's going to shout at me because I said a bad word. And he did. I didn't shout at him, but I was extremely verbal about the dangers of a root canal and that I couldn't believe that he was suggesting it to me. And I was also very verbal that I would not be doing one. And he just kind of laughed at me like, oh, dumb hippie, you don't know what you're talking about. And, obviously a root canal is the best thing for you. I'm the expert. I'm the authority. I'm the dentist. You're just being stupid. So here's where the shui starts coming in. So here's the thing. Don't F with me when it comes to energy and my shui. I have highly cultivated chi, and when I am determined, I will persevere. So I wanted to come on and share this story. One, because I want to educate you guys about mouth care and the importance of it, and why every single one of you need to start really taking care of your teeth and realize that if you don't take care of your mouth, it dramatically affects your health overall. I mean, it's serious business. Number 2, I think that this is such a great example of chi cultivation and why it matters. Because when your chi is cultivated and you care for your chi, you are effing powerful. You have more power than you could ever imagine. The problem is that your entire life you've been told otherwise. We are conditioned to believe that we can't and we shouldn't and we won't because of. So we are dumbed down and we are told that we cannot have those things because of. So when we talk about law of attraction or visualization or manipulating energy, a lot of people default to, oh, I can't do that. You can do that, but I can't do that. Bullshit. Every single one of you has this power. You have to believe. You have to know that this is innately within you. You came in with this software. Everybody can do this. So I started doing a ton of research, and I started doing a powerful visualization technique. And in Feng Shui, this technique is a meditation called the moving heart method. And it's pretty simple. There's some nuances. I've put it together. If anybody's interested in learning more about this, I've put it together so that you can purchase it. But you basically visualize the outcome that you want to have by having a conversation with a being that's going to help you make that happen. So for me, in this situation, I kept envisioning that my being that I was going to be working with was going to, basically make this happen and fix my tooth. My thinking was, okay, as an interior designer, I've remodeled a ton of houses. I've built a ton of houses. If the foundation has a crack, you don't bulldoze the house, right? You don't kill the whole damn house. And that's kind of how I was looking at this. The tooth had a crack in it, so it should be fixable. So as I did this meditation, I just kept visualizing this being saying, yeah, just need some TLC. We can totally fix it. And again, if you want to learn more about this technique, this meditation, we call it in my world a secret within a secret. It's highly sacred information. It's something that I don't typically just share with the general public. Usually you have to work with me or you have to be a student. But I think that given the times that we're headed into and everybody's so erratic and out of control with the current reality that they have around them, this is a great way to shift the timeline and put yourself in a different reality. You have the power to create this. So again, if you want to purchase this information or learn more about it, I've created an instructional ebook that you can download. You can find it at gatesinteriordesign.com/moving heart method. You can purchase it for $19, and I'm going to include not only a copy of this podcast audio in there, but I'm also going to include another audio. I haven't recorded it yet, so if you go over there today and download this, that second audio is not going to be in there, but I'm going to share how I used this same method 6 years ago during my divorce, and how I had a conversation with the judge, and ultimately when my ex and I went to court, I got exactly what I had been doing in this meditation. Powerful shit, y'all. When you know you have the power to do this and you cultivate your chi, this is what you have the power to do. So I use this meditation not only during my divorce, I've done it for a couple of other things too, but my divorce and this tooth are two times in my life that it really, really dramatically changed my circumstances and my outcome. And it is super powerful. And I think what's really cool is that when you do it, and you get these results, it blows your mind. It proves to you, it validates to you that you are made of magic. You have the power like beyond your imagination. So back to me. Let's get back to me. So as many of you know, I've had this podcast for a long time, had it over 10 years, and I've had many, many healers and functional medicine doctors on the show. So I started reaching out to all of them looking for answers, and every single one of them kept telling me, you need to go see what's called a biological dentist. So if you're about to get major dental work, or if you want to get away from your traditional dentist, look up a biological dentist. Holy cow, y'all. I can't believe I didn't know that this existed, or that I hadn't done it sooner. But with the help of my dear friend, Amy Ray, I've spoken about her on the show. She's like this hardcore sleuth. She found a biological dentist in my hometown. And the best part was he's only like a mile and a half up the road from my house. Oh my God, that's amazing. It was like my meditation was working. Oh wait, it probably was. Now, remember, I have never met this dentist, but prior to meeting him for the past 2 weeks, I had been doing this powerful meditation, and I had been envisioning this being saying, meh, just needs a little TLC. We can totally fix this. So, another miraculous, amazing thing, which no kidding, it's going to happen, right? I manifested it. So I called them last week, and the receptionist, Kathleen, was like, oh, I'm so sorry. We're booked out until the end of November. Like, we can't get you in. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what we can do about that. So I got a call yesterday, or no, it was Wednesday. I got a call, and they said, we're so excited. We just had a cancellation for Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Can you make it in? Yes, I can, because I manifested it. So I was determined to save my tooth, and I was determined that a root canal was not an option, and neither was pulling this tooth. My option was this damn dentist was going to fix my tooth. And let me just mention that this is why chi cultivation is important. When you are powered up and your chi is strong, the thing is that when you know without a shadow of a doubt, you will be able to do things like this and set your mind to something, and you will be able to move mountains. That is the power of real Feng Shui. You can manifest anything. And I know this to be true because I've done it. So it's super fun when you realize that you have this power within you and you can move mountains. You can cultivate your chi and become the conduit to manifest these incredible things, right? It's the difference between like an appliance that uses like a 120 volt versus an appliance like a fridge or a dryer that uses a 220 volt. You want to be 220. You want to manifest the shit out of stuff out of thin air, right? Like an appointment that wasn't there and getting, the results that you want. So one of the reasons the show did not go up early this morning as it normally does is I met with the biological doc yesterday morning, and they just happened to have an opening, right? Even though they were booked until November. Sure. Yeah. Cultivated that too. Manifested that too. So when the doc came in, I was adamant, told him that my tooth, I was being told that I needed a root canal. And basically I told that dentist to F off and I wasn't going to do that. And that we were going to repair this tooth today and we were going to heal it naturally. Well, to my surprise, but maybe not to my surprise, more to the delight, my delight, I should say, the doc said, absolutely. He did a CT scan and he did all this fancy shit on my tooth and he had all this really cool technology. And he's like, your tooth is really, really strong and healthy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the root. It's impeccable. It's an impeccable shape. The tooth is impeccable. And get this, y'all. Get this. He said the tooth is extremely viable. It just needs a little TLC. What? Hello. Yep, you heard that right. My moving heart meditation worked. Whoop, whoop. So it took about 4 hours of time, and not because they had to do all that much work, but it was because they squeezed me in for this appointment, and so he was seeing me in between patients. Hell, I would have been there all damn day because he saved my tooth. And here's the thing. He gave me the results that I wanted. Basically what I found out is that there was absolutely nothing wrong with the tooth. It was viable. It was super strong and healthy. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the root. It turns out that the filling inside of the tooth had been loosening, which was forcing the tooth to flex, which caused a crack in one of the peaks of the tooth, and it was totally repairable. So that's why I didn't get the show up. I didn't get home yesterday until yesterday afternoon, and I was groggy as shit, and my mouth hurt because it had been, they've been rooting around in there for hours on end, and plus I was tired because I'd been on nitrous gas, which was amazing, if I do say so myself. But I'm home now, and here's the important thing. I'm home now with a strong, healthy tooth intact. All it needed was a little TLC. So here's the thing. Don't rely on what they quote unquote experts tell you. Many of the methods that are out there, whether it's, traditional medicine, dentistry, whatever the hell it is that you go and try to get help with, many of those methods are outdated. Trust your intuition and know that you have the power to change your circumstances. I was extremely aware of the dangers of root canals, and my spirit team was with me that day when I went to the dentist and he was telling me that I needed to get a root canal. I knew down to the bottom of my toes that was the wrong answers, and I kept hearing seek alternatives. And I knew that my spirit team was like, you got this, girl. You're right. This is the wrong answer. So here's the thing. Had I listened to my traditional dentist, I would have destroyed and killed a perfectly healthy tooth, and I would have set myself up for a lot of toxic side effects. When it comes to your health, you need to take your health in your own hands. Take your circumstances in your own hands. Just because someone in an authoritative position tells you something, don't believe them. Better yet, just because an authority figure tells you something and, they say that they're a dentist or a doctor or a nutritionist or fitness, I don't care what the hell they are. Do not take it at face value, especially if it doesn't feel right. If in some way, shape, or form it hits you in the gut in the wrong way, change the reality. I'm actually going to be having Adam Banning on the show sometime this fall. He and I are still trying to figure out our schedule, but he's an expert on timelines. And he's going to share with y'all the idea of changing your circumstances is basically you change your reality because you're shifting to a higher vibrational timeline. Holy cow. Are you ready? I am. So basically what I did by doing this moving heart meditation was I changed my timeline. I literally manipulated the chi and I set myself up for a circumstance that was a higher vibrational outcome for me and gave me exactly the result that I wanted. I choose not to believe that my dentist was telling me that a root canal was the option. I chose to believe that there was a higher path for me and that there was a better option. I did not give my power away. And unfortunately, in the past, I think we've done that a lot because, oh, well, they're a dentist. They're highly educated. They paid for some fancy school, so they must know better. Hell no. This is extremely important to understand given the times we are in. You need to take back your power. Many of you are furloughed, you're experiencing job loss, extremely stressful situations. You're freaking out because your kids are not able to go to school, or maybe they are able to go to school, but they have to wear a mask. Hell, yesterday I heard that a lot of colleges are forcing kids to get vaccinated before they can come in. Hell no. Change your circumstances. Change your timeline. This is the power that each and every one of you have. You have the ability to do this if you believe in yourself and you cultivate your damn chi. You've just been conditioned to believe otherwise. You've been taught that you don't and you can't have what you want. And it's been conditioned since the beginning of time. This has been taken away from you to take your power away so that you can be controlled. And hell, great quote. When you know better, you do better. Maya Angelou. So do better. Fight for yourself and know that you have the power to do this. I literally changed my circumstances and Feng Shui completely cured my root canal situation. I knew innately that that was not the right choice for me, and I fought, and ultimately all I needed was a new filling. That is all I needed. And had I believed my other dentist, I would have destroyed a perfectly healthy tooth. I'm sorry, y'all, but that pisses me off. I will not be returning to that dentist. Friends or not. We're not friends anymore. So take your oral health care extremely seriously. Your teeth are extremely important to your overall health. Again, they sit on very, very important meridians. So if you have issues with teeth, that means that you've got issues going on with those meridians. So make sure that you look into that. I also want to share a couple of products that through this experience I learned about. I'm not a sponsor. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just sharing this for the sake of sharing it because this has helped me and I can't believe I wasn't doing this sooner. This experience over the last 3 weeks has changed my life. I am completely looking at my teeth entirely differently because I almost lost a healthy, perfectly good tooth. And it pisses me off that had I not spoken up for myself, that would have happened. And it really pisses me off to think of how many people out there are, having this same experience where their dentist is like their default is root canal and you don't need that. And, you may have a tooth that's decayed and there may be other issues that are going on, but these are 3 products that are all natural that I highly recommend. And when I went to my group of functional medicine doctors and functional dentists, these were the products that they recommended to me, and they're awesome. So what I've been doing since is there's this product called BR Rinse. It's an organic brushing rinse. It basically has essential oils in it, and it's like a hydrogen peroxide, I guess is the best way to say that. It's got oxygen in it. So you swish with this, And it helps to, if you have a lot of issues with your gums, which I do, mine are super sensitive, this helps to keep them repaired and healthy. And it also kills bacteria. Another product that we'll probably talk about with Dr. Ellie, because she's the one that recommended this product, is a toothpaste called Lucky Teeth. This stuff is so rad. This is an organic toothpaste and it feeds your teeth. It remineralizes them. So I have found that this product has been really, really great. It tastes really, really good, but I love the idea of remineralizing them. If you don't know this, if you drink purified water, you think you're doing great because you're getting your 80 ounces in, and purified water means that everything has been stripped out of it. And so water is H2O. And so you're talking about hydrogen and oxygen. So when purified water hits your body, it pulls the minerals out of your body. So if you're drinking a lot of purified water, that means that it's stripping your body of natural minerals like magnesium, calcium, sulfur, and you need those things in your body. It's great for bone health, and it's great for teeth growth. So this product, this Lucky Teeth, helps remineralize your teeth. And finally, one of the best products that I never even knew that this existed, but I've been using this a lot, is called Dental Sidon. It's an oral care solution with biocidin, and it's got a ton of essential oils in it. It's got the biocidin, milk thistle, echinacea, shiitake, white willow bark, grape seed, clove, tea tree oil. There's all, oh my God, and it tastes really good. Like I saw the ingredients. I was like, this is going to taste like shit. It tastes really good. But the group that I had reached out to and found out about this product is that they did a double-blind study on 200 patients, and the people that used this product more than 2 months found that they had zero plaque in their mouths and they reversed cavities. So it's also really great if you've got any problems at all with your teeth, as far as if you've got like small cracks or if they're in pain. If you're experiencing pain with any of your teeth, this Dental Sidon will cause it to go away. And then if you've got, like I found out with the repair of my tooth yesterday, he said that there was actually some decay in it because it was so poorly done, and eventually it would have rotted out. So if you can't get to a dentist right away, and these are things that can cause some pretty big problems, if you use a product like Dental Sidon, it will help get rid of the bacteria and keep your mouth really, really happy and healthy. So, and another thing I would recommend that I've started doing as well is I've been drinking mineral water. This wasn't anything that I was ever really attracted to, and I've always tried to drink a high pH water, like around 9.5 pH, just for the minerals, and it's not as acidic. But I've learned that a really good mineral water, something that's over like 2,500, I think it's called TPGs, it's the total percentage of mineral, TPM maybe. The higher that the mineral content is, the better it is for your body. And so I've been testing this. So I went to Whole Foods the other day and I bought this German volcanic water. It's naturally carbonated, and it's got all these really great minerals in it. And I wasn't feeling that great that day. I had a slight headache and didn't feel really well. I actually had an 8-ounce glass of that water, and within about 20 minutes, I felt awesome. So I fully believe in these products, and I'm really this experience, like I said, it's really changed my life. It has made me realize that I really need to take better care of my teeth. I need to take it a lot more seriously. And if you do these types of things and care for your teeth in this way, you're not going to be faced with these kinds of issues. So I'm hoping that this podcast was helpful for you. If you're interested in the Moving Heart Method, as I said, I have put it up on the website. You can find it at gatesinteriordesign.com/moving heart method. You'll have the instructions in there on how to do it, and anything that's going on in your life. If you need to go through a negotiation, or maybe you're handling a divorce or some type of a legal matter, or there's a situation that you need to control the outcome. This moving heart method shows you how to do that in a kind, compassionate way to help you get on that timeline that you need to be on to get the results you want. My new dentist literally said, all it needs is a little TLC. That is exactly what I was envisioning. I kept envisioning that this being was going to say, it just needs a little TLC, we can fix it. So when he literally said the exact words that I was doing in this meditation, I was like, what? So, little pat on the back for me. Super exciting. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this work for 22 years, and I still get excited about our potential and what we can do. And things like this, they're really great because it proves to you your own power. You take your power back, and it shows you what you can manifest if you cultivate your chi. So I hope that you've enjoyed this show today. I am going to have Dr. Ellie on the show with Kristen to talk more about oral health care and why it's so important. And just things that you can do. I don't want you to listen to this show and go, oh shit, I've got 4 root canals. What am I going to do? We're going to talk about that. I want you to have solutions, and I want you to understand the toxicity of them, but I also want you to know that there are solutions as well. And again, if you are, if you're getting your teeth cleaned and teeth repaired by a traditional dentist, I highly recommend that you fire them and you go seek out a holistic biological dentist. They are using methods that are far more advanced, and they're far more healthy. And FYI, my dentist yesterday basically just said, you just got a small crack in your tooth. We can fix it. Like, if I had not sought additional help, I would have lost my tooth. And that, again, I've already said this, but it really pisses me off. So take your health in your own hands and manifest the results that you want. Don't forget, I have got my masterclass, class, workshop, whatever the hell you want to call it, with astrologer Sharita Starr. You can find the link to that on the homepage of the website, interiorvibes.com or gatesinteriordesign.com. They both go to the same place. And also Mastering Feng Shui. Enrollment will be open until the end of next week, I believe. So that link is there as well. All right, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed this show today. And hey, trust the vibe, because the energy never lies.